93.3D Philadelphia is Fox Sports Radio The Gambler. Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, money. That's money. Enter it now.
FoxPHLGambler.com. Once again, FoxPHLGambler.com right now.
One ball, one strike, the pitch. Swung on, hit in the air, right center. Marsh calling for it in the alley, backing up to the track. He makes the catch, and the ball game is over. A warning track fly ball is all, and Stuart Fairchild is the final out as the Phillies beat the Braves 2-1, and they take 2 out of 3 in the series.
How about that, sports fans? And a good afternoon, everybody. Beautiful day in the Delaware Valley on this wonderful Monday. Short week vibes. Can you feel it? Vacation on the horizon. Yeah, I can taste it. I can taste those waves right now. 4th of July, you gotta love it when it falls on a weekday. Hello, everybody. Let's go. A lot to discuss. Luke Arcaini joining me right from the jump here on a Monday. Of course, we got some fightings to discuss, a lot from the weekend. I got to dip my toe back into the Philadelphia 76ers water. Of course, free agency getting started tonight officially at 6 p.m. We got a great show for you at 5 o'clock with Sean Bedard and Sam Austria, all things NBA free agency. But Luke, first of all, how was your weekend, sir?
Weekend was good.
All right.
Was dog sitting last week, so that kind of ended yesterday.
Nice.
It was good. I will say it was a nice, honestly, like a little vacation. I was away. I was working from home, so I was on the couch.
How does one get a dog sitting job? Let me ask you this. Is this a
buddy? A buddy was going to Ireland for a week, and they got a big dog and didn't want to put him in a kennel. And
what type of dog?
It's a big Bernedoodle. He's probably about 100 pounds. He's a monster.
What was his name?
His name was Boots. So shout out to Boots. Feeling better. First 6 days were great. Friday night into Saturday, got sick. Was sick all day Saturday, but he's feeling better now. I don't know. He might have ate something. I don't know, man. It wasn't me. I don't know. I was just doing what I was told. But no, it was good. Nice weekend. Was dealing with some camera issues before we got in here, so we're rolling with the old camera right now. I look really blue for some reason, but hey, we got some news about 10 minutes ago that I think we're going to dive into a little bit. I don't know if you saw the news.
Your boy's been on the move for the last 35 minutes, so
maybe I'll break the news then.
Please do so, Luke Arcaini.
A guy by the name of Bryce Harper has been reinstated from the injured list. He will be in the lineup tonight. And Buddy Kennedy was designated for assignment, but Harper is back. Obviously, just a massive boost back in the lineup. This team needed. Listen, all they needed to do, and I feel like I say this whenever Harper's out or Schwarber's out. If you lose a star player, you just kind of have to tread water while they're gone. And they went 13-14 without Harper. That's okay. But now they get them back. Big series against the Padres. I will say they've had the Padres number, especially at Citizens Bank, since I believe 2021. They're 11-5 versus the Padres at the bank. So should be a nice little series. I will be there in attendance tonight. Just kind of sitting in the stands tonight. A little different point of view, going up with the girlfriend for fireworks night. Should be a nice little night.
Little GA Lukey, little general admission Luke coming in here.
Little GA up in like the 400 nosebleeds.
And you know what? They're probably still better seats than what you have in the press box.
No. I will say the poll. Me and that poll have a little argument going on there, but nah, it's.
Have you been able to put your name on the poll? And if you don't know what we're talking about, Luke Arcaini drew the shortest straw as far as the press row is concerned. At Citizens Bank.
Start somewhere.
Yes, you do. But I've sat there before. I can pull up my old phone. I had to pull that seat up before.
It's a fun seat.
There's a lot of seats in that place, but there's this one that you're up and there's a pole where they close the windows and it's right in front of you. There's not much you can do, but you just watch the game moving like this the whole time. But of course, it's an awesome deal that you're down there for crossingbroad.com and of course here us with the Gambler. All right. So that's great news. We kind of felt, we were talking earlier this morning that this was going to happen.
Yeah.
I was expecting around 3:30 that news would have came down. So I apologize. I did not have my phone in my hand at all while I was driving, but it's raining outside. So I got here and it was crazy getting here. But anyways, with that being said, Harper is back, and that is a great deal. We're going to talk about the now what as far as who's going to start taking the position in left field a little bit more versus lefties. What does it do to the changing of the lineup? Harper back. It's been a little while. I think they were 12-10 without him since June 5th. 12-10 in that stretch without him. So it's great to have the captain back in the Phillies lineup, and it's going to pay off and then some. We'll talk a little bit more about Harper and the Padres matchup that Luke will be attending this evening. But let's hit the rewind button right here in the Daily Take to get it started. Phillies take 2 of 3 versus the Atlanta Braves. Hand the Atlanta Braves another one-run loss, 20th on the year for the Braves. 21-run losses. Most.
I did not know that. That's wild.
Yeah, that's a tough pill to swallow, plus all the injuries, but nobody cares. We're not crying about that for the Braves. Big story, though, of course, is Ranger Suarez. Luke. Ranger Suarez. Yeah, that's the conversation right here, right now. It's got to be. But we understand how that works out, and that's something that's going to work itself out after the season. Scott Boras is his agent. He's going to get top dollar. Will Phillies be able to commit to that? We'll see. All in all, though, Ranger Suarez right now in a Phillies uniform has been dominant. 10th time that he has had a quality start in the major leagues. 1.19 ERA over those 10 starters. He is entering into the death and taxes territory, Luke. And you know what that is? There's only two things that are certain in life: death and taxes, and Ranger Suarez getting to the
Come on, baby. Come on. Yeah,
dude, this is unbelievable.
It's wild. And we saw it last year. Like, Ranger was good before last year, but I think like 2023, you really started to see the guy that we could get to eventually. Ranger through his first, 12 starts before he started dealing with the back injury last year was the Ranger where we were like, holy, you know what? Like that's a pitcher. And I love, the different sayings for things. Ranger's not a thrower. He's a pitcher. It is like, it's bizarre watching him throw. And Sean, I don't know if you saw the clip of Matt Olson. Matt Olson let out a bit of a bad word and basically saying unbelievable because Ranger Suarez threw him one of the nastiest pitches I've ever seen Ranger Suarez see. And you don't see Matt Olson look like a fool that much at the plate. Nope. And Ranger was laughing, walking back to the dugout. There's 3 pitchers, the top 3 pitchers in ERA, I believe, since May 11th, I think the stat was. I can't remember the exact order, but the 3 guys up there are Zach Wheeler, Ranger Suarez, and Paul Steens. That's pretty darn good. The dude's just a gamer. He's a gamer. He's a workhorse. And he doesn't go out there and blow 98 by you. I mean, if you sit there and you watch a Wheeler start, right? If Zach Wheeler needs to blow a fastball by a guy, he can blow a fastball by any player in baseball. And yes, Ranger can do that, but that's not how he pitches. He's a master on the mound. And it's really shown this year. I mean, the guy's ERA is just insane again. And it's really hard, man. Like it's really hard to sit here and just almost have to accept that there's a really good chance he's not going to be here next year. It's sad. Like it stinks. But they just have so many starters. They're set up for the future. They have Andrew Painter, who's not even up yet. Right now, when you look at the future, it's not a spot for him. But how is there not a spot for a guy that has a 2 ERA flat? Like it's insane to think about. It's a crazy conversation because, depending on how you look at it, a guy with a 2 ERA and it's probably been your second, and you could possibly make an argument that he's been your best starter this year. How is he not the most important free agent signing of this offseason for the Phillies? That's the craziest part about it, is because then you have to get into the conversation. And I know people, I don't think you need to have this conversation yet, because neither of these guys are going to sign in season. But if you had to bring one player back next year, are you bringing back Schwarber or are you bringing back Ranger? Like, it's
Crank it
crazy,
up,
man. It's insane. It's going to be, it's crazy. He's unbelievable. He's only getting better. And yeah, this velocity, he's not some, big, tall, high velocity guy, but he just works people to the end.
So there's a lot to chew on there, and we're not going to get into the free agency stuff right now on June 30th. Crazier things have happened. I'm not going to sit here and say that it's not going to happen. I'm not going to sit here and say it's going to happen. He's going to command a serious price if he continues to pitch this way, and he deserves it. So hopefully he continues to pitch this way, because it's right now currently in a Phillies uniform. And as I said, death taxes and Ranger Suarez getting you into the 7th inning stretch, nothing better than that. And even more so, you're talking about a guy that's not getting run support. And I know that the good pitchers deal with this from time to time, but 16 straight innings of no runs, that could have an effect on you in some manner that's not good, that you're going to bring out to the mound and you're going to give up a base hit. You're going to make a bad pitch. He's made literally one bad pitch in his last 2 starts, and it went yard against the Astros. It's been fantastic. I look forward to Ranger Suarez starts. I think we all got caught up in who he was when he first came on the scene. Like you said, started having that success. The expectation was there even then some last year. But right now he is delivering. And man, it is a lot of fun to go watch Ranger Suarez grab the ball every 5th day. Now, you did bring up something that I want to dive into, because I don't know if I could sit here and say, as dominant as he's been the best pitcher on the Phillies starting rotation here. I still got to give the edge to Zach Wheeler. Am I?
I think it's closer than people wanted.
I could get down with that, but that's not telling me that Ranger Suarez is better than Zach Wheeler, which I think.
No, I don't think he's a better. I don't think he's a better pitcher. And granted, Zach Wheeler has 5 more starts than him.
Interesting.
But, man,
even wins, right? 7 wins for both of them. Again,
so both of them have 7 wins. Wheeler's thrown 99 innings. Suarez has thrown 72. But granted, when you look at it, Zach Wheeler has thrown 99 innings. He's allowed 66 hits. Suarez has thrown 72 innings, has allowed 55 hits. I don't know, man. I think it's crazy that we've gotten to this point too, because I think a month and a half ago, the big talking point of this season has been obviously this rotation. It's been the best rotation in baseball. They've had Zach Wheeler, Luzardo, Sanchez, Suarez, Nola, the iffy thing. But Mick Abel has been good since he's come up. I don't think Mick Abel's as good as his major league debut, but I think he's enough to be in this Phillies rotation. A month ago, Ranger Suarez was moving to the bullpen. That is not good. That is not happening anymore. No, it just can't. Because right now, I think a guy that we wanted to move to the bullpen in the playoffs 2 months ago is probably starting game 2 for you right now in some sort of series. That is the biggest conversation around the Phillies. And I know we're sneaking up on the trade deadline here. We are a month and a day away. But how much do the Phillies really need to get into the bullpen at the deadline? I think they're going to get somebody, maybe 2. There was a report this morning about a few Pirates relievers that they could potentially be showing interest in. But how much of the bullpen is internally? Because, if you have to play, if you end up in a 3-game wild card series, you need 3 starters, right? Yep. If you end up in a 7-game series, you need 4 starters, right? And that's Zach Wheeler, Ranger Suarez. If Aaron Nola is healthy, Aaron Nola is going to be a starter in the playoffs. And then what do they want to do there? Which one of Sanchez, Luzardo goes? Does Abel go? He probably does. What do they do with Painter? They say they don't want to put Painter in the bullpen, but once you get to October, you got to do whatever you can to win. It's an interesting conversation, but I'll tell you this. Ranger Suarez a month ago was probably moving to the bullpen, and he is certainly not anymore.
That is correct. Phillies on top of the East at this point in time, 49-35. Of course, those Mets are struggling, 48-37, 3-7 in their last 10. The Braves, as I just laid out, fact is they're 38-45, but have been snake bitten and not getting lucky, getting the bounce or the ball bouncing their way. And that's a team that could have 10 to 12 more wins, and they're right in the thick of it. Instead, they are 10.5 games out of first place. 2 of 3 against the Braves, picking up what you were just kind of getting into as far as the trade deadline is approaching. I want to give a shout out because I dug this up earlier today. Brooke Destra over at NBC Sports Philadelphia. She had a good write-up. And, one of the things that made me think this morning was like, do we really know what type of team we're getting night in, night out? It's insane what this team is doing to us. And she put out with the road trip, we just saw the Phillies being shut out 3 times, a 13-run offensive explosion, a dominant bullpen game, and 4 of the strongest outings from the starting rotation all season. Hell, that was some of the best starts I've seen by Philly starters in a long time. It was awesome. That's how great they were. She literally said it's a coin toss every day. I could not agree more. And I know that we are a ways away from the trade deadline. The All-Star break is right around the corner, of course. But, man, I just feel like we got the pitching ready to go.
Yeah.
Knock on wood, anything happens here. Understood the bullpen is the bullpen. I think the bullpen could be better, and I fully expect the bullpen to be better. Now, is that wishful thinking? Possibly. And I don't think Dombrowski is probably going to just say, I'm good with what we have here. He's probably going to make a move for an arm. I think that's locked.
Yeah.
But I'm getting to the point that, like, get some new blood in here, man. It's mandatory to go out and get a new bat. And, oh, by the way, Bryce Harper suggested it. So, like, if your ace, if your captain is saying that, and I know it's one thing to look, hey, man, I'm in the front office, you're the player. But this is Bryce Harper. He's been around the game a long damn time. If he's telling you we need a little something extra here, do it. Max Kepler is not getting the job done. Otto Kemp is not getting the job done, fair or unfair. I know we're in June, and I'm not one of these guys that's telling you that this lineup is not good enough to compete for a World Series. I'm not telling you that. Pitching staff is stop everything right there. This pitching staff is good enough to win a World Series and to get to another World Series. But you know what you're up against with the Dodgers. You know how tough it is to win a playoff series. Go out and be aggressive and get some bats in here. I'm telling you, man, that's what is hitting me now more than ever, and simply off of what we're seeing right now. Like I said, 16 straight innings. You're not giving Ranger Suarez a run to work with. Yeah. Come on, man. Zach Wheeler is a Cy Young candidate. Like, pitching, we got you. Go out and get a bat. But Bryce Harper back, that does come into that department somewhat at this point in time. As I said, he's been out since June 5th, Luke.
Yeah, and it's so, like, it's so big to have Bryce back. And it's not just because, yes, he's really good and he hits homers and he's just always on base. It's so big that it slides everyone back. And the issue when you lose Bryce is you lose so much depth. You end up having Nick Castellanos hitting cleanup, and you have JT Realmuto hitting 5th in your lineup, who is struggling this year. And some days you have Max Kepler hitting 5th in your lineup. Like, it's just simply brutal when Bryce isn't in there. Like today, it's way better to see Bryson Stott in the 8 hole and JT Realmuto in the 7 hole than it is to see Stott up hitting 6. Like, it just adds so much. But it's just incredibly obvious that this team is going to need a bat, and they're going to have to really sit down and figure out how much they want to go in, because, like, I understand. I don't want to trade Aiden Miller. I don't want to trade some of these prospects, but you have 2 more seasons of Zach Wheeler. Like, you can't go through Zach Wheeler's contract of having your deadline moves be Austin Hayes and Rodolfo Castro and, like, Brandon Marsh. And yes, I still think that was a good trade 3 years ago. But, like, it just gets to a point where you have to realize that you got to try. And if it doesn't work, fans are going to be happier that you at least tried and lost than if you get an Austin Hayes at the deadline and he has a kidney infection and that's all you get. Like, because that's what it was last year. And yes, it was obviously unfortunate. Like, that was a freak accident. I think Austin Hayes was a lot better than the player that he was here last year. But Max Kepler can't start in left field every game for you in the playoffs. I don't think they're going to DFA Kepler unless it gets to a really bad point. But listen, having a pop bat like Kepler off of your bench in the playoffs is fine. Having Otto Kemp as a utility guy off of your bench is fine. I don't think you can go into the playoffs with a Kemp Kepler platoon in left and the possibility of Johan Rojas starting a game in the playoffs. And listen, some of this is going to be internally. This Justin Crawford stuff seems real to me. I've been doing some talking around, and it seems like that could happen sooner rather than later. From what I've heard, I wouldn't rule out it. It seems like there's a possibility it could happen pretty soon. I don't know how soon the case. I've heard some people possibly say this week. I'd be a little surprised, but I think it's definitely on the table to maybe see him soon, because I think you have to see what you have there. And if you bring Justin Crawford up, say this week as an example, and you play him for 2 to 3 weeks in the majors and he struggles, then that's not an untouchable piece come July 31st. It just can't be when you have a core of Wheeler and Harper and Schwarber. It's hard because, listen, I don't love the bats at this deadline. A lot of them just don't really fit, but it's going to have to get to a point where you just have to get creative with it. You have to figure out, and this team needs right-handed pop. Like they need a right-handed threat in their lineup. And they're going to have to find it from out of the organization, because there's not a right-handed bat down in the minors right now that is anywhere close to being ready to come up.
Yeah, and again, this is the last time that you really can upgrade your team. If you think that they are World Series good, then you need to go out there and be aggressive and make some moves. And I know you could still help out from minor leagues, whatever, but I think you just nailed it right there. So we'll see what Dombrowski does. Again, the return of Bryce Harper. What does it do to Otto Kemp, who has played, I think, 20 out of 21 games since Bryce went on the disabled list? And Max Kepler in the lineup for game one here. Turner, Schwarber, Harper, Bohm, Castellanos, Kepler, JT, Stott, Marsh, Wheeler is our lineup this evening. Once again, 6:35, taking on those Padres. We'll come back to that conversation because that's a little inside baseball for some, so let's keep it moving here. But I do want to get into a little bit of what the Padres have been. 2 of 3, they lost to the Cincinnati Reds. They were almost no hit on Friday, all the way through 8 innings, if I'm not mistaken. They lost on Sunday 3-2. Overall, they are 44-40. They trail the Dodgers by 7 games in the NL West, 6-4 in their last 10, and they own a 20-24 road record. But dealing with some injuries as far as pitching is concerned, Darvish and Musgrove. And then tonight, Matt Waldron. Have you ever hit against a knuckleball pitcher, Luke Arcaini?
I'll tell you this, I haven't hit against a knuckleball pitcher, but myself was actually a knuckleball pitcher when I
Stop
played.
it.
I swear.
What, in the backyard wiffle ball you were throwing?
No, when I was pitching and when I was 13 and 14.
You
when
threw a knuckleball.
I did. You can ask any single person in my life.
And what did the batter do? What did the batter do to that knuckleball? They
didn't hit it. I'll tell you that.
Oh, no?
I'll tell you that. Oh, no. That was.
I threw one knuckleball and it got
was.
absolutely smashed. I think one time when I was like 15, 16.
I had a little knuckleball in my bag. I did.
Not going to do that one ever again. It doesn't surprise me that you would throw the knuckleball and have success with it. And tonight, Matt Waldron, starting pitcher for the Padres. He made 26 starts for the Padres last year in 2024. It's his first start in 25. He was dealing with the oblique strain. A couple starts since last May in the minors in El Paso, on the road to El Paso. Luke Arcaini, 5.24 ERA, 1.52 WHIP, 22-7 strike to walk ratio, and 22 1/3 innings. Philly should hit this guy. Yeah, I get it. it's not easy to sit here and say that they're going to get him. It's a knuckleball. It's knuckleball, especially if you're not used to it. And look, he had some success. So when I was looking at some stuff last year, they should hit him. This is a game that you would hope with the juice that Harper's bringing back to the lineup. Again, hopefully this game gets in. I know it was storming on my way in here, not trying to rain on your parade tonight, Luke, but Phillies are minus 226 favorites. 9 is our total. This needs to be a Phillies victory and then some over a Padres team right now that seems to be struggling.
I'm losing your hair.
How about now, Luke? Do you got me now? All right, we're gonna work on Luke there. Yeah. So again, this is a team that you would expect that the Phillies will have success again. Again, the number right now for DraftKings Sportsbook minus 226, a big time number for Zach Wheeler. Matt Waldron again, first start this year plus 182. I just look at it from the perspective as if you are going to take the other side. Why? What is the reason that you would say, you know what, let me take this Matt Waldron? Is it the fact that these Phillies bats haven't been all that good? I can understand that. But again, I think you're rolling the dice big time by backing a guy like Matt Waldron getting his first start in 2025 season. Just talking about possibility of anybody out there selling me on the fact that Matt Waldron and the Padres would be to play. And the only thing I can come up with is the bats have been a little bit light. Now, again, they did explode on Friday. I fully expect that this is a Phillies victory this evening. Odds makers are telling us that exactly too at minus 226 for Wheeler.
Yeah, no, this is the one the Phillies should win for sure. This is, a night where it's just, Wheeler on the mound versus a pitcher that's just nowhere as good as him. Should definitely be a Phillies win. I do apologize. We got some nasty storms rolling through here right now. It is nasty. But yeah, I will say as far as tomorrow too, the Phillies have the pitching matchup, and I feel like you can basically say this about every single series right now. The Phillies have the pitching advantage in just about every game this series. Tomorrow, Sanchez versus old friend Nick Pivetta. But this is just some juice here tonight. Harper back. This is just the textbook night that the Phillies, I think, just go out and should just beat up on a bad pitcher. They've hit the ball very well at home. They've definitely been a better home team this year than road team. Should definitely be a win tonight.
It's interesting, though, because as we sit here right now, essentially end of last week, we hit the halfway point. We are currently right now with the weekend that just happened fully at the halfway point of Major League Baseball. And I think it's interesting where an intriguing spot for us to check the oil, right? Where we're at as far as the gauge is concerned around the National League. And, the odds always tell us everything we need to know, and I'll pull those up in just a second. But if I was to ask you right now, 7-game series, Phillies and Cubs, home cooking for the Phillies, 4 out of 7 here, 3 at Wrigley. Who you got?
Phillies.
Okay.
Definitely.
What makes you say definitely? Because
sorry. I thought you were going right to the next team.
No, I was going to, but what makes you say definitely? Because the way you said it, now I got to follow up.
Yeah, I think we've seen this head-to-head matchup both times, home and away. And the Phillies I just think the Phillies are the better team. I think the Cubs offense is the strong suit of their team. But when you see how they've performed against some Phillies, they've definitely struggled. So I would definitely give the edge to the Phillies there. I'll tell you this. I don't think there's many teams in the National League that I would give the edge to over the Phillies right now.
What if I told you that MLB.com had the Cubs ahead of the Phillies in the power rankings right now?
They probably have them because
Who's got a better lineup? You got Kyle Tucker and Pete Crow, right?
No, the Cubs have a better lineup.
Yeah. It's hard to argue.
The Cubs have a deeper lineup. I think the Phillies might have a better top 4.
Okay. All right.
I know where deeper lineup 1 to 9.
I know I'm saying the Phillies as well, and it could be a little home cooking. Understood. 7-game series versus the LA Dodgers. The Dodgers have home field.
Right
okay.
now,
Yeah.
probably
You going to take the Dodgers?
I think it's hard not to,
Yeah.
even though the Phillies do have a series over them this year.
It's true.
I just think it's tough to not take Dodgers. I will say, if it is a series with a hot Phillies lineup, they will destroy that rotation.
Ooh, I like that.
Because their rotation's not that good.
Yeah.
It's not that good. It's hurt, and it's always hurt. But I think it's hard to put the Phillies over the Dodgers right now.
Understood. All right, put a bow on this one as far as the power rankings are concerned. Phillies are right after them, but the Dodgers plus 135 to win the National League. Phillies plus 450. Mets plus 550. Then the Cubs at plus 750. Some fun stuff to get into there. Again, halfway point power rankings. We got 8 games in Major League Baseball going off this evening. Of course, the first one for us here. The Phillies, a heavily favored team over the Padres with Zach Wheeler on the mound. We'll continue to talk some fightings here. We'll get you updated on everything as far as props are concerned, all that more with Luke Arcaini. But I want to quickly transition, if we could. We're getting a WNBA
baby.
in
Come
Philadelphia. And Ted's checking in. I don't know, Ted. Ted, you seem like a great guy here on X. And Ted is asking, do you guys think we'll be able to sign Caitlin Clark if she gets fans and seats?
Come home, Caitlin.
I have no idea how any of that works. But yes, Philly is getting a WNBA team, and it's expanding to 18 teams. The WNBA is often referred to as the W. And over the next 5 years, but Cleveland, Detroit, and Philadelphia set to join the league by 2030. Cleveland will start in 2028, Detroit in 2029, Philly after, assuming he gets approval from the NBA, WNBA Board of Governors. Toronto and Portland will enter the league next season. Now, we talked about this on Thursday, Luke, when we had Natalie in studio. Sam Oster was with me, and we all said, like, Philly should have it. We are one of the best, if not the best sports city. I did joke and throw in there the fact, do you think that WNBA was a little scared of putting a team in Philadelphia? I think there might have been some truth behind that, because it was always weird how we never had a team. But the Harris Blitzer organization was able to make it happen. They deserve a ton of credit. I know I give Josh Harris some hell. I hate the fact that he owns the Commanders, and I really don't think that he's all that great of an owner as far as the Sixers are concerned, but whatever. He's doing some good things right now for the city. And of course, in Camden, built that practice facility, pretty cool stuff there. So you got to tip the cap to everybody that's over there, and it's exciting times. I will say that we are trying to come up with a name for it. And there's a lot of people that are, tossing out there the Liberty Bells, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, but I don't think you can do that because there's already a Liberty.
Yeah, you won't do that. I think it's the Philadelphia Freedom. I think they're not.
Have we thought about the Philadelphia 76 Hers?
Hers, I thought was pretty cool.
Okay.
That was funny.
That's my
So
top.
If you have something again, we got a lot of creative minds, especially in Philly. We pay attention to the timeline night in, night out. So if you see one, shoot it our way. We're live on all socials. Of course, get involved in the conversation. Tweet us as well. Love to hear it. The 76 Hers was pretty cool. I want to give a shout out to whoever got that one. But I just know how they operate. They named the DC Commanders, so it's not going to be anything crazy or spicy. But hey, man, cool things. And for the people out there like WNBA isn't for me. You know what, man? Union soccer, wings lacrosse. Not everything has to be for you, right?
Correct.
Like, these are great sports that other people enjoy. Might not be your cup of tea, but more the merrier. We got plenty of room. Brand new arena. Hell yeah, man. It's going to be a lot of fun in 2030.
So did they say, I didn't get to read a ton into it. Did they say the plan is for the WNBA to have their own arena, or would they play in it would be in the new Sixers?
Yeah, it's going to be in the new Sixers.
Sweet. That's going to be cool, man. I am very excited about that. That's going to be awesome.
Brand new state-of-the-art facility. That's going to be insane.
Oh, it's going to be great.
And we're going to have things like, think about the stupid things that we're going to have in that state. We're going to be able to plug our phones into our seats, right? Like, they're going to do something crazy. Awesome. Yeah, that's, it's going to be next level.
Philadelphia Broad Bombers, says Nick Pacone.
Nick McCone also had a really good one that he didn't tweet, and I'm a little upset that he didn't tweet it. He needs to put that on a timeline, because I think that was the best, and it was It was the explicit F word, but it was spelled with the PH and then the U's. The Philadelphia. I want to give a shout out to Bet Parks. They had a good one. The Broad Street Baddies. I thought that was pretty funny.
Jeez,
Again, never going to happen, but I thought it was
not do that one.
Come on, it's great.
I
eliminated Philadelphia Johns from the start. Everybody.
Philadelphia Commanders, dude. I was telling you.
Yes, Jose Perez checking back in. Bryce Harper back in the lineup, coming off the IL. Let's go. Buddy Kennedy to DFA. So we opened up with that, of course. All things Phillies here, Jose. The party starts at 3:00. Thank you for joining us. Also, on the timeline today, as if we didn't have enough breaking news, Odyssey radio stations from coast to coast can now be found on the iHeartRadio app. I'll give you the organ again.
Come on.
So, look, I know that, again, like sports, WNBA isn't for everybody. WIP isn't for everybody, but they do pull a lot of people. All right?
There it is.
They do pull a lot of listeners. So here's the deal. You're now on the iHeartRadio app with us, as well as at other radio station, 97.5. So you got 3 sports talkers in the city of Philadelphia. We got presets on the iHeartRadio app. It's the best app around. Just go ahead and lock in The Gambler, lock in WIP, lock in 97.5. You got 3 sports talkers. You can flip through. We go long here. We don't take the same commercial breaks they do. We go 45, 50 minutes a segment. That they don't do that. That's the difference between us and what they do. Yeah.
Who's talking about college football in June? It ain't them. I'll tell you that. Come on. Hold the magazine up. Yeah. Get it up. Come on.
You'll get me fired up, Luke.
I will say, I made
a Heisman Trophy wager this weekend.
Come on. Not Carson Beck, I'm assuming, right?
No, definitely not.
I will say, I do want to announce this officially. For the first time in my life, I will be purchasing a college football magazine ahead of the college football season.
Get out of here!
I've never purchased one. I have never purchased one in my entire life, and I will be purchasing one this year because I need to be locked in on all things college football this year. Come on. I'm ready.
It's the best.
I'm ready.
Can't wait. Right around the corner. It's here. Football season officially starts August 7th. Eagles preseason game 1. Think about that. Right around the corner. We will talk some football. We had a major trade in the NFL. I also have a question that I was pondering with the Gambler Gang a little earlier today about drop off from first to second in all of the NFL divisions around the horn. So that sparked up some good conversation there. So we got a lot to get to. Again, Luke Arcaini hanging with me. We're going to take a quick time out. We'll come back on the other side. I'm going to jab him with some other odds and ends before he gets out of here. Luke's on his way to see the Phillies and Padres this evening. Once again, Zach Wheeler, a big-time favorite on the mound at minus 225. Other side, though, I do have to get this in because last week we were a little over the place at the end of the week there. Janai Broom selected by the 76ers. I saw Elton Brand. Said, dude, nice week. Gave him some dap. He said, we got some good ones. I got to give you my Broom take and just have to be honest about where we're at as far as the assessment is concerned. Want to get that off my chest. There's some interesting names that really apply to this selection here. And then you could go on the flip side and whether or not Daryl Morey needs to get a little bit more of an opportunity than fans want to give him as far as draft picks are concerned. We got a lot to do. Luke Arcaini on the other side is going to stick around more after this.
Spring is in the air, and it's time to swing for the fences. Our MLB coverage is bringing heat all season long.
Everybody moves up 90 feet.
Be sure to catch Luke Arcaini and Sean Brace on the Daily Ticket. Only one place that covers all the action. It's The Gambler.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One, is back in Vegas.
T-Mobile Arena.
September 19th and 20th. Streaming live only on Hulu. 15 artists, 2 nights, 1 stage. Get tickets now at AXS.com.
Capital One is the proud presenting partner of iHeartRadio Music Festival, bringing great products, rewards, and services to its customers. What's in your wallet?
Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic for Philadelphia.
We've got flooding on the Bluebird southbound between St. David's and Broomall. The right lane's blocked. Traffic jammed up back to the Schuylkill. Westbound Schuylkill, Jan, University Divine, then crawling Girard out to Belmont. In that delay, watch for flooding in the left lane between Montgomery Drive and the Boulevard. Wire to tell total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Staples.
What up, Mario Lopez here? You know, I love me a throwback like the Staples Easy button. It's back and bringing more easy than ever. Custom prints, shipping services, even passport photos. Plus, next day delivery to over 98% of the U.S. Yeah, Staples, that was easy.
The following heartwarming yet informative scene is brought to you by Trust and Will.
Son, your grandpa and I used to work on this car together. And when I'm gone, I want you to have it.
Wow. Thanks, Dad.
Doesn't count. What you need is a will. Luckily, Trust and Will makes it easy. Designed by attorneys, but customized by you can easily create a state-specific, legally valid document that actually counts. Now, let's hear this tiger purr, am I right? Start your will at trustandwill.com. Use offer code COUNT for 10% off and make it count. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. For details, see trustandwill.com.
I have heart failure, and being out of breath all the time was just too much. I also have other symptoms like carpal tunnel syndrome and lower back pain, and I thought something's really off. That's why I talked to my cardiologist about ATTR-CM, or transthyretin cardiac amyloidosis.
ATTR-CM is a serious heart condition often accompanied by other non-heart-related symptoms. It's a condition that gets worse over time, so starting treatment early is important. Talk to your cardiologist today to see if you have ATTR-CM. Vindamax, tafamidis, is a prescription pill taken once a day to treat adults with ATTR-CM to reduce death and hospitalization for heart problems. Tell your doctor about all your medications, medical conditions, and if you have liver problems or breastfeeding, pregnant, or plan to be. There are no known side effects with Vindamax. For prescribing information, call 1-877-278-9632. Learn more at Vindamax.com.
Ask your doctor about ATTR-CM.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Take me out to the ball game.
Book a stay out of town.
Book a spa package and lounge by the pool.
The kids agree that this trip really rules.
So we'll book an apartment with space for the whole family. And it's 1, 2, 3 clicks away to your perfect Booking.com stay.
The right stay can make you a fan of any U.S. city. Booking.com, Booking.yeah.
Official accommodation partner of MLB.
You've got an app for your music, but what about your favorite morning show, sports team, or live local news and weather?
Things start to change.
Yep, there's an app for all that too. iHeartRadio. Download the #1 app for radio, the free iHeartRadio app.
You own or manage a business here in Philadelphia. Are you unsure where to start when it comes to advertising? Well, here's a surprise. Fox Sports The Gambler, your local iHeart station, is the one place you can get it all. Hey, it's Sean Brace, and we can help with everything from radio and podcast ads to social media and digital. And we can even get local voices like mine spreading the word about your business. So if you're looking for someone to take care of it all, do yourself a favor right now. Call 844-844-iHeart or visit iHeartAdvertising.com today. Hey, man, you all right? Need me to call 911? No, call Top Dog Law. Get top dollar for your accident at topdoglaw.com. Once again, that's topdoglaw.com. Yes, indeed. It is Daily Ticket. Luke Arcaini. He is hanging out for another segment here, 4 o'clock. I'm going to get into a lot that took place over the weekend. NBA free agency gets started officially tonight. Sean Bernard, Sam Ostry coming your way at 5 p.m. Those guys will steer the ship and set you up for everything you need to know. I don't expect the 76ers to be all that aggressive. But we'll see. There's obviously got to fill in a roster. A couple names out there. Yabusele, will he be back? Of course, Grimes. What's the deal there? We're also in the smoke and fire territory, Luke, where it's like, hey, man, I hear Grimes is saying he wants $25 million a year. Now, back in my day, 25 mil used to be like the best of the best. Things are so crazy anymore. So I don't even know. Like, I remember Jason Capono made $6 million, and, like, I lost it. He was coming off the bench. He was terrible. They signed him, and I was just blown away. Like, how are you paying this guy $6 million? Now, I don't have that. I just point blank, I don't have it in me because these contracts are so crazy. I don't know what a normal run-of-the-mill guy makes off the bench. Like, LeBron, he's making $53 million a year. That's LeBron James. $53 million. Like, it's the best of the best, but that's not the top contract in all of sports, I believe.
I'll tell you this. I'm not an NBA expert, and nor do I know the comparison of money. Let's not give Quentin Grimes $25 million a year.
You would think.
That's probably just my gut feeling to not give a Quentin Grimes $25 million.
You also don't want to let him walk, though. You traded, you brought him in, he was good, but
do you want to give him $25 million a year? Exactly.
I think that's the way you got to look at it. All right, Luke is our go-to for all things golf here on The Gambler, and Rocket Mortgage Classic took place in Detroit Rock City. And to be honest with you, wasn't too sure on who the hell the guy was that ended up winning it, but it was a pretty cool way that he did win it in the playoff putt that he sunk from way downtown. And, 22 under, which is crazy to me. The biggest thing for me, Aldrich Pottegeyer, I murdered his name, from South Africa. He won 22 under. And the biggest thing for me, as I was making my way around yesterday, and I finally caught a couple holes at the end. Full disclosure, didn't really catch too much of the tournament all weekend long. Had Keegan Bradley in my one and done for swinging and ding it. Shot 12 under, and he didn't sniff the top.
It was a high.
All right. So, the biggest thing that I'm taking away from this weekend, Luke, is that, hey, man, how about those people that were yelling about Oakmont? Like, what would you prefer? Now, I know week in, week out, we can't have courses. I think you could, actually, if you wanted to. There are some very good superintendents across this country. But, was that entertaining? Drive, fairway, middle of the green, make putt, bird. Was that entertaining, or was Oakmont a better feel for you?
So you can't – here's my thing. You can't have a tournament like the Rocket Mortgage at a club with the conditions like Oakmont, because if you want a fan to tune in to the Rocket Mortgage Classic, you don't want the leader going into day 4 at 2 under. You want to see birdies. If I'm tuning into a tournament that not a lot of people care about and some of the big names aren't playing in, I don't need to see guys make the cut after shooting 14 over. So that's the type of course that you want to see birdies at. But I will say, if you are a golf sicko, I didn't get to watch the whole tournament this week, but I did get to watch the playoff. 5 playoff holes yesterday. It was a 3-man 5-hole playoff. And then obviously he ended up burying that putt on the 5th playoff hole. He's only 20 years old. He is the youngest. So he's from South Africa. He's the youngest African PGA Tour winner ever. It was a heck of a round. He played 23 holes yesterday. Crazy golf. But yeah, it was a good tournament. A very high scoring leaderboard. But now we move towards the Open. Coming up here in a few weeks.
July 17th. That's where all eyes are on right now. All the talking points about the Open Championship. Who are you going to take? Is it Rory at plus 650? Is it Scotty plus 450? John Rahm? We looking at Bryson? Where are you at? Gut instincts? What's talking to you right now when we get into the Open Championship? Is this a Rory? Again, he's been playing great all season long.
Yeah, I think it could be, definitely. My gut until it would probably take an injury for my gut not to go this way. My gut will always go to Scotty until he doesn't win. But it should be a fun. Royal Birkdale is a really cool course. It's just one of those just classic old Open courses. It's probably my favorite style of golf to watch, that type of Open style golf. No, I mean, it should be a good one. The Open is it's been pretty mixed in the past years. You've seen sort of the big heavy hitters go out there, but then you've seen some names win it that maybe you wouldn't really expect. I mean, you saw Brian Harmon win it. What was that, last year, 3 years ago? It's not always the best golfers that win the Open. Usually it's the best golfers that win the Masters. And usually it's the almost best golfers that win the US Open. This year, I think, might have been a different story just because the kind of course it was at. But the Open can sort of be up for grabs. And, a lot of times I think you have to tend to lean towards some of those European guys. I love to bet Shane Lowry always in the open.
25-1.
Right, 25-1. I think if you can get any sort of plus money on a Lowry top 10, I think that's always a very safe bet at the open. But some guys like Victor Hovland, I think can always be named that I always like in the open. But no, it should definitely be a fun one. We're obviously a few weeks away. But I will say, so no, it'll definitely be a good one. Extremely fun. You said July 17th, so about
17th.
3 weekends, 2 weekends.
Well, tomorrow's 1st of July. So
come on, now. Here we go.
Again, Xander Schauffele's last year winner, Brian Harmon 2 years ago, Cam Smith, and then Morikawa in 2021. So that takes you over the past 4 years. Again, Xander would be a guy that I would definitely keep my eyes on, but of course, Shane Lowry, a fun one to root on. All right, let's keep it moving.
Quick. If we are going to move back, just really quick to Bryce. So Bryce spoke to the media today before the game.
Oh, yeah, we're going to the Phillies. So go ahead. Phillies and Padres tonight, minus 239. We had a major jump up. Minus 225. We took the commercial break. Now minus 239 on the Titans. Money coming in on the Phillies here. What did Bryce say? He said he's going yard?
Honestly, it kind of seems like the opposite. Harper seemed a little, not like down, but
he said he was stiff.
From the video, it seems like he's not 100%. And it seems like to me that they don't know if he's ever truly going to be 100% right now. It seems like to me that as he was progressing through, he basically said that they kind of hit like a stall in there, and it was the best he's felt. He's not in pain, but it's just kind of still there in a way. Like it doesn't seem like this is something that's going to be 110%. What I've kind of gauging from that now is I just think they're to be careful with him. I think he needs at least 1 day off a week. I don't think you need to be playing Bryce Harper 28 games in July. I definitely think he's going to need some breaks, and it seems like they're just going to have to manage it because obviously you want Bryce Harper to be 100% in October, and if you want that to be the case, then you're going to have to take it easy on him a little bit, and I think they're definitely going to do that.
Wow, maybe people were listening to us because that is a significant movement. And I said, no way are the Phillies losing tonight. And it bumps up the minus 239. So maybe a lot of people are listening. See the iHeartRadio app. Everybody's listening. Everybody's on it. Let's go. All right, let's go ahead and close up. Let's close up shop here with some winners. Phillies again, Padres this evening. What do you got? What are you looking at as far as tonight going up again against Waldron? Getting his first start this year. A couple starts down in El Paso. Again, knuckleballer, wasn't all that great. Did have a bunch of starts last year. Could it be difficult if he's on? Sure. This Phillies lineup, like I'm looking at a guy like Schwarber and I'm saying, not today. Like I think a knuckleball could give a guy like Schwarber, watch, he's going to hit a ball.
Yeah, unless he hangs one. That's the issue.
That's it. So are we riding Schwarber or are we looking elsewhere here?
Something for the first time all season is going to happen tonight in the Phillies lineup.
Oh man, what do we got? Who hasn't
Trey
hit a home
Turner
run?
Is finally going to hit a home run at Citizens Bank Park this season. He has yet to hit a home run. It's Trey Turner's 32nd birthday. He's back at home. He hit a bunch down in Atlanta. He's hot. He's been the best. He's been the best, most consistent hitter on the Phillies this year. He is getting his first Citizens Bank Park home run tonight. That is my take for tonight's game.
I like that. 32 years old.
Hitting 296 this year, 456 slugging. He's already nearly at a 3 WAR. He is now the team leader in WAR this year for all my WAR people out there. 20 stolen bases, just 61 strikeouts. 38 RBIs, 11 home runs, all on the road. He has already eclipsed 100 hits on the season. He's on pace for a 200-hit season with the Phillies, 35 doubles, 22 homers, and around an 85 RBI season. Not too shabby for Trey. First home run tonight at the bank. Book it.
Okay, I dig that. Let's put it in together. What do you say? We're gonna roll the dice here. We're gonna come up with a Gambler Gang daily ticket, Luke Arcaini Chambre's ticket here.
on DraftKings Sportsbook. Where we're getting our odds from? I am definitely looking at Bohm tonight.
Okay.
I like Bohm to stay steady in the box, find a pitch, total bases. I'm going 2+. That's at plus money. 2 total bases there. We'll roll in a Trey Turner home run. That's going to get us up just a little bit. And then let's see here. What about Wheeler strikeouts? Now the Padres don't strike out that much. Good hitting team.
They don't.
Yeah.
Should we? Let's throw in like a 6+. How about that?
6+.
Do you feel comfortable with rolling with a 6+? Let's do that. Let's do 6+. And I'm gonna give you one more here.
It's DraftKings. Who's ready to rake? Everybody.
Everyone. Homer. I'm gonna go Brandon Marsh 2 bases.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll with Marsh. Brandon Marsh 2 bases. Marsh's been hitting the ball well. Having a nice little season. I know that the season long stats aren't beautiful. But he's got an 819 OPS over his last 30 days. Hitting the ball well. I'm going to roll Marsh 2 bases back at home. Bats get going again tonight back at the bank. And do you want to get a little dicey with a little minus?
Oh, my God. We got 7 legs already. What do you mean we're getting dicey?
How do we have 7 legs?
You just threw out Marsh. I got Bohm. We got Turner Yard. I got a Schwarber RBI.
Oh, I didn't know you put Schwarber RBI in there. You said not the night.
Wheel 6 strikeouts. That's 5 legs. We're not going to win if we go to 6.
Yeah, famous last words. Until you do. Philly's money line. Toss it in there.
Philly's money line. Let's keep it going here. I love it. I'm trying to find Trey Turner home. All right, so Trey Turner home run. There you go. Boom. That's plus 380.
This thing's gonna be juiced.
Philly's money line minus 239. We should probably go run line, right?
Yeah, why not? Let's do it.
Yeah,
We're
let's go.
Juiced up enough.
I got the Bomer. I got and you said
Marsh hit. Let's go Marsh hit. 2 bases. Marsh hit.
Okay, Marsh hit. Minus 175 for 1. If we come up short, Brandon Marsh, I'm never going to forgive you.
Okay.
Let's see here. So Schwarber, Turner, run line, Marsh.
Who's not in the line?
And then
Bryson.
Yeah, exactly. Pitcher props 6+ as far as strikeouts. Why they didn't pull? What's going on with Wheeler here? Wheeler's off the board.
No.
Wheeler is off the board currently right now. As we sit here with 4 plays, we're at plus 4.
Let's roll with that then without Wheeler. Let's do that.
Kyle Schwarber, RBI 1. Trey Turner, home run 1. Man. Phillies minus 1.5. Marsh plus 1 hits. Yeah. Hang on. Let's get rid of that Turner home run for a second.
Oh, come on.
Come on.
Fine. We'll go Trey 2 bags. How about
Trey
that?
2 bags?
Yeah.
That cashed for me the other day.
Trey 2 bags. It usually does. He's a good hitter.
Trey 2 total
bags.
bases.
Boom. What do you have? A hit?
All right, plus 550.
Oh, all right. Yeah, we're good. That ain't nothing.
That's right. I didn't even put Bohm in there. So we got to put Bohm as 2 total bases. 2 total bases. Sorry. All right. There's
Bohm,
our
2 bags. Turner 2 bags. Phillies minus 1.5. Brandon Marsh hit. Kyle Schwarber RBI. Book it. Let's go.
5 legs right there. Plus 1,000. That's an omen right there. For those of you keeping score at home, Kyle Schwarber, RBI 1. Phillies run line minus 1.5. Brandon Marsh hits 1. Trey Turner total bases 2. Alec Bohm total bases 2. 1,000. Let's go. Luke Arcaini, fantastic stuff as always. CrossingBroad.com is where you can read them. You can find them on all things socials. Enjoy the game, you and your lovely lady. And hopefully Trey hits you one. Or Schwarber hits you one because
we'll take either of those. Yeah, for sure.
You're the best, dude. Enjoy the game. We'll catch up tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Sean.
My man, there he is, Luke Arcaini on the Gambler stream. We got our same game parlay locked in here on the Daily Ticket. Let's keep it moving. Big 4 o'clock hour on the other side. We're going to get into some NFL. I'm going to tell you the one play in the NFL that I made over the weekend, locked in that future. I also made a college football Heisman Trophy play. So I got 2 futures as far as NFL futures are concerned, football futures are concerned. Tell you both of those. And again, we're inching closer. Started looking around the divisions and I was pondering. And the question that I have for everybody out there
that we are going to open up next hour with is, which NFL division has the biggest gap between first and second place? Take a second. Think about it. Ding. Seriously, it could be the Eagles. Is that much of a drop off between us and the Commanders, us and the Cowboys? Could it be out west, whether you got the 49ers or the Rams? Think about it. Look around the divisions. I want to know your answer. Get involved in the conversation at Fox PHL Gambler. Of course, we are streaming live on all things socials as well. Which NFL division has the biggest gap between first and second place in your mind? Put the odds to the side. Gut. Football season is inching closer. Are you ready? Daily Ticket back up to this.
Spreads, totals, and all the prop bets in between. It's the game.
I went hands-free.
I went hands-free.
I went hands-free.
I went hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins.
Join the millions of people who are celebrating going hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins. Footwear you just step into and they're on.
It's crazy how something as simple as a pair of shoes have made my life better.
After trying Skechers Slip-ins, I want all my shoes to have this technology.
See what everybody can't stop talking about. Go hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they helped me. They calmed me down. They made me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Do your summer plans include travel? Make sure your prep includes more than just flights and hotels. Stay up to date with COVID-19 vaccination, especially if you're 65 or older or have certain health conditions. There have been surges in COVID-19 in the summer, too. It's important to help protect yourself no matter your destination. So check eligibility and schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. That's VAXAssist.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
Hey, this is Lincoln Kennedy. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Mercedes-Benz.
The WNBA with a big announcement today. An expansion team is coming to Philadelphia, with the league announcing that the Sixers ownership group want a bid to begin playing. That'll be in 2030. The NL East leading Phillies, they host San Diego tonight for the first of a 3-game series. Righty Zach Wheeler takes the ball there for Philadelphia. And Wimbledon is underway in London, with Carlos Alcaraz going for his third straight title at the third Grand Slam of the season. I'm Scott Davidson.
The Mercedes-Benz Dream Days are back with offers on vehicles like the 2025 E-Class, CLE Coupe, C-Class, and EQE Sedan. Hurry in now through July 31st. Visit your local authorized dealer or learn more at mbusa.com/dream.
Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic for Philadelphia.
95 northbound crawling Girard Point Bridge at Penn's Landing with a crash, and then backed up Allegheny to Bridge, southbound Jack Coppin to the Betsy Ross. Westbound Schuylkill crawling University Divine, and stop and go Girard out to Belmont. Eastbound Jam Montgomery Drive to South. Totella total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Shop Mattress Firm's July 4th sale and reclaim your restless nights. Choose from a curated premium selection of mattresses to find just the upgrade you're looking for. Get matched, sleep at night.
The last thing anyone wants is to leave behind confusion, stress, or worse, family conflict. That's why estate planning isn't just for the wealthy. It's for families like mine, and probably like yours. With Trust and Will, I created my estate plan in minutes, from naming guardians for my kids to putting our house in a trust to avoid probate. Fast, affordable, and way easier than I thought. Every plan is designed by estate planning attorneys and customized for your state. Plans start at just $199 and include essentials like healthcare directives and power of attorney. With Trust and Will's bank-level security and built-in privacy protections, your personal information and your wishes stay safe. Whether you're newly married, raising kids, caring for aging parents, or just want peace of mind, Trust and Will makes it easy to protect what matters most. Go to trustandwill.com, use code RADIO at checkout, and save 20% on your personalized plan. Because there's no better time to protect the people you love. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. See website for details.
4th of July savings are here at the Home Depot, so it's time to get your grilling on. Pick up the Traeger Pro Series 22 pellet grill and smoker, now on special buy for $389, was $549. Smoke a rack of ribs or bake an apple pie, this grill is versatile enough to do it all. This summer, no matter how you like your steaks, your barbecues are guaranteed to be well done. Celebrate 4th of July with fast free delivery on select grills right now at the Home Depot. Subject to availability.
This weekend is what summer's all about, and Macy's July 4th sale starts tomorrow with deals on everything you need to celebrate. Hosting? Turn your backyard into a party destination with 40 to 50% off outdoor entertaining. Beachbound? Turn heads in this season's hottest swimsuits, sundresses, and more. Get away with the kids? Superpower their summer with 25 to 60% off toys from Nerf. Plus, don't miss Macy's 4th of July fireworks live on NBC and Peacock. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
If you need to hire, it seems like the whole process can be exhausting. You search resumes, wait for the right candidates to apply, set up initial interviews. It's a lot of time and work. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates for your job the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro is super easy to use. You simply pick a time, and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you can choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day. Best of all, you save time and energy.
Try Zip Intro for free right now at this exclusive web address, ziprecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow. Once again, go to ziprecruiter.com/free to try it for free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free.
Hey there, history fans. iHeartRadio brings you a brand new history podcast. It's called American History Hotline, where you ask the question,
what is political technology?
Did George Washington really cut down a territory?
Were JFK and Marilyn Monroe having an affair?
And American History Hotline gets to the bottom of it.
I'm so glad you asked me this question.
This is such a ridiculous story that we tell ourselves because we don't want to know the real story.
Open your free iHeartRadio app. Search American History Hotline and listen now.
Number 1 on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. WDAS and WD273D Philadelphia is Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler.
Yeah, we're back. Daily Ticket on a Monday. So much going on around the sports world, especially here in Philadelphia. WNBA coming to Philadelphia. And this has been something that has been in the works for quite some time. No surprise there. You're not just going to snap your fingers and get some expansion team, no matter the league, no matter the sport. And especially something that's growing fast and furious like the WNBA. Great deal there. Again, I think Josh Harris and his team deserve a ton of credit for making it happen. Of course, we know what took place with the arena conversation and where we're at right now with that. So 2030, it's going to go hand in hand. New arena, new team here. And I think that is awesome. One of the funnier things that we're getting into now is what do you name them? A lot of cool names coming in. And I think there's a lot of creative people here in Philadelphia. So I would love to, again, we know what they're going to be named. They're going to be named the Philadelphia Freedom. Anybody disagree? It's going to be generic. It's not going to rock the boat, and nor do I want it to rock the boat. I just think, have a little character, have a little personality. But we are a city with a lot of history. And, of course, the Philadelphia Freedom, great sun. Does that still play? I don't know. I would love to be a part of the process to come up with the name. But all in all, and a logo and image and all that. But I think at the end of the day, Josh Harris, we can see what he's been doing his whole career, teams that he's owned, and, of course, the Commanders, what they are now named. DC football team, was that what they were? Jeez, now the Commanders, pretty funny stuff. But it's exciting. And I know that there are a lot of negative Nancys out there on the timeline that like to say, the first thing I put a tweet out, and the guy's like, like, dude. They're heartbroken that they're not going to get your money. They are just dying that they are not going to get Bobby from the shipyard down to a game. Now, I would say, I don't know why anybody in life would automatically be a no on anything. Like, give everything an opportunity. Experience. Life is about experiencing it. So maybe you might be a fan. Maybe you get down there and you might enjoy, the vibe inside a brand new arena for that type of team. I don't know. I don't watch it on the TV. I used to watch a lot more WNBA before Caitlin Clark, believe it or not. Now, Caitlin Clark is a different reason for a lot of people to tune in. I think that all the other nonsense on the timeline I can do without. But all in all, she's a fantastic player. There's some really good players in that league. But I've been tuning into a couple games, and it hasn't been catching my attention like it once did. I'm a huge Kelsey Plum fan. I was a huge Vegas supporter. I would tune in anytime that they were playing. It doesn't really grab me like that. Be also upfront with you to tell you that soccer isn't really grabbing me like it once was. I was a diehard soccer fan. Now I got other things I got to do. We change. We evolve as human beings. So why not give something that's brand new in this city an opportunity before you have to be Mr. Cool Guy on the timeline and hate on? I don't know. That's something that we could worry about down the road. But all in all, I think it's pretty cool. And we'll see what happens. I know the game is continuing to grow. And last thing I would just say, again, I think Josh Harris and that team, they deserve a ton of credit. Now, over to the 76ers team that I do care about. We should care about. NBA free agency getting the jump off this evening. A lot will be happening. Speaking of the timeline, Sam Ostry, Sean Bernard coming up here at 5 o'clock, full NBA discussion. And we are going to, right now, as I'm putting a tweet out, I apologize, talking Morey and his draft picks, his drafting, let's put it that way. Apologize, doing a little bit of both there at the same time. Now, the thing that hit me about last week's draft was Janiyah Broome. And full disclosure, we are a diehard team here when it comes to the Gambler Gang, all things college sports. Like, we eat, sleep, and drink college football. And, of course, college basketball. We are the home of Villanova Hoops, which front and center for us. We can't wait for another season. Coach Willard and company, we're really excited about that. Also would say that we are the home of college football as well, for Villanova college football as well. Now, here's what I would say when it comes to Daryl Morey and the drafting of Janiyah Broome. Now, nobody is down on the Edgecombe pick, right? The Broome one was interesting because this was something that we discussed last week. And it was funny because I'm going to pull up a clip from our guy, Sean Bernard, who's coming up on the other side, where we discussed Janiah Broome and whether or not I was asking in the second round who would draft him. I wasn't specifically asking about the 76ers. Listen to how this one sounded last week. Janiah Broome, who was, I believe, player of the year, right, last year? College?
He was, and I don't like him whatsoever from an NBA perspective, to be honest.
Anybody, even Oklahoma City?
Somebody will draft him for sure. I don't want it to be in Philadelphia. He recorded the lowest vertical jump of any player at the combine here, and it looked ugly. Like I kind of watching it was like, that's like you bring an average person off the street and they're giving you a run for the money there. So I think the athleticism is just not there with Janiah Broome. He's talented. He will get rebounds. He's got good size. And I do think a team will definitely select him, but I don't see the fit from an NBA perspective.
All right, first thing I got wrong was he was not player of the year. He was runner-up. A matter of fact, at the end of the season, everybody was trying to give him the award. I was on Cooper Flagg. Cooper Flagg was my player of the year. But Broome had a hell of a season. Auburn was great. And it was led by him specifically. 2 years straight, he was dominant with Auburn. And he was a hell of a college basketball player. Now, we have seen plenty of those come over the years where they dominate college basketball. And then they get to the NBA, and it's not the college game. Shocking, right? Now, does this hit you that sort of type of way? Is that how the vibes are coming off here? Like I look at a guy like Drew Timme, who ripped it up, Gonzaga, right? Most of these guys are going to be white. Like Tyler Hansbrough was unbelievable. He played a little bit in the NBA, right? My point is, go to the G League rosters and take a look around. And you're going to see a lot of rosters littered with names of college greats. And that's where I start the conversation with the drafting of Broome. Because full disclosure, when we were watching him at Auburn last year, I don't remember anybody telling me he was going to be a pro. To the point that he was going to be a pro of substance, right? Somebody that could help a team out. Not one person said, watch out for him at the next level. He was a fantastic college player. He was dominant last year. He was awesome to tune into. He would pull down boards, shoot from downtown. He did it all for Auburn. But not one time did somebody say, watch out, somebody's going to get them a steal next year when the NBA draft rolls around. Again, no one's getting crazy here of a second round pick. And I think that needs to be at the top of the conversation as well. Although it was a high second round pick, I think at 35 overall. So you know what was there, you know what was passed on, and you know what was said. But here's the other difference, the other way that I think we need to look at this and be fair about this conversation. As Sean Bernard's texting me, I wonder if he's watching me. Just play that clip. Oh, okay. So the thing I would say is Daryl Morey and what he's been able to do as far as drafting is concerned with the Maxey pick. Of course, McCain. When you look at some of the other hits he's had, he's a pretty good drafter. He's got an eye for talent when it comes to the NBA draft. Now, is he king GM in that department? No. But he's pretty damn good at what he's done for the 76ers. So where are we at with the selection of Broome when it comes to A, Daryl Morey and the history and everything that he's hit on, his hit rate, so on and so forth, and then B, when we're honest with our assessment on the player at the college level, not talking a lick about what he's going to be in the following season at the next level. That's the question that I'm asking right now. Like I said, I'm not trying to compare the two because they're two different ball players all in all, but Drew Timme was a 3-time consensus All-American. I don't think he's going to get to the pros, right? Maybe for a cup of coffee here and there, but he's going to play the G League and he's going to try like hell to make it. You look around, there are a lot of people out there. The athleticism that Sean talked about, it was very obvious. He didn't jump well. The wingspan is down, but the dude can ball. He's a ball player. Now, is this a type of guy that, this is a guy I want around my youngs and he can grow? No. We want people that can go ahead and have an impact on this roster, especially with what took place last year. And I know that people are all fired up about the Sixers, and I'm one of them. This is the first time in a long time that I'm actually talking about this team, thinking about this team in a positive manner. But as we sit here right now, and I got people throwing out the starting five of next year, and it focuses and revolves around the big man known as Joel Embiid, that's all fun and great. Yeah, I love it. Sure. But we know JoJo's not going to play 82. We know he's not going to play 60, although Sam Ostrey said that defines health for him. And everybody wants to talk about, well, if Joel Embiid's healthy, and I'm hopeful that is the case, but you need players that are going to fill the void of Joel Embiid when he is not available. Again, I'll set the bar at 35 for JoJo. I hope I'm wrong. I hope you play this audio back, and if you know what, you go back last year, I said the same thing. The year before, I said the same thing. You just do it all over again. Run it 3 years in a row. I hope I'm wrong. But something tells me deep down in my plums that I'm not wrong. That Joel Embiid is only going to go one direction with his health. And it's south. And it sucks. But it's the reality of life as a big man. Joel Embiid hasn't played 60 games in 2+ years. He's played a total of 59 games throughout the 2 seasons combined. We'll see. Again, my only hope is that we don't get bogged down with whether or not he is and, will he be back? And it's just the same song and dance. And you're trying to fill in the role, fill in the hole, the gap that is Joel Embiid. So can Broom do that? Is he worth the shot? At 35, when the Stanford big man who got a ton of praise could have been there, could have been selected by the 76ers. There were some other players that had some people's attentions as well. We'll see. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I don't like the pick because I was a Broom fan. But if I'm honest with you, there wasn't one time when I watched him last year that I thought he'd be successful at the next level. Maybe that's something that dude puts in the back of his head. He's been bet against. He played 2 years at Morehead State, I want to say, something like that. Transferred to Auburn. He's been bet against pretty much his whole career at the collegiate level, and he's proved everybody wrong. And now he's drafted in the second round to an NBA organization, and it happens to be the 76ers. Pretty good spot for him, I would say. Not a lot of expectation, but, man, he can come in and kick the door, and if he wants it, there's going to be an opportunity. And I'm going to have fun watching him. As much as I'm a naysayer about him having the ability to affect for the 76ers this upcoming season, I'm going to have fun watching him. I'm pulling for the dude. And I know I had fun with Sean Bernard there because he's already flipped it. He's no longer on that cut. Again, listen to how fast he comes in. Listen to how fast Sean Bernard answers this question. Sean, Janiah Broom, who was, I believe, player of the year, right, last year? College?
He was, and I don't like him whatsoever from an NBA perspective.
I didn't have a chance to even ask the question. And he's already flipped. He's already like, you know what? I'm in. It was a good pick. I'm going to give him a shot. Oh, I love it. Got to have some fun with it. And again, he's a hell of a ball player. Morey, great GM as far as draft picks are concerned with Max and McCain. He deserves the patience, the opportunity. I'm a fan of somewhat of the name of the pick, right? I'm a fan of the player, the mental makeup, everything he did at the college level, and it's 35th. Like, take a shot. Why not? But if you're asking me, I'm going to give you my honest assessment. I'm going to say I'm not seeing it as far as him being able to lock it down at the NBA level. We'll see what happens there. Plenty going on as far as the NBA is concerned. We got free agency going off tonight. A couple big deals already went down. LeBron James, he's not getting traded. This is absurd. I can't believe ESPN and everybody's wasting time. God, ESPN, you make life so difficult for us to defend you. I can't even defend them anymore. It's just, it's like, they're begging for somebody to come up and just take it from them. They're the mothership. I know, but they're not the best of the best anymore. They're not. In all capacity, what sports they're showing, broadcast teams, announcers, pregame coverage, Sports Center, it's just not the best of the best. And that's a shame. Because they had such a head start on everybody. They got money out the wazoo. They are the first and foremost deal you think of when it comes to sports. You think of ESPN. They're not the best of the best anymore. They're just not. I turn on TV today and they're talking about LeBron James and this deal and how he's not going anywhere. He's going to finish his career with the LA Lakers. Stop it. Oh, he opted in, but here's the comment. Rich Paul. Just ridiculous how much time they spent on a LeBron James rumor / innuendo that came out of nowhere. Like, if you want to talk about him hanging it up, that's fine. He deserves that. But he's not going anywhere. $52.6 million option. And then this was the headline on Saturday or yesterday on ESPN. Let me pull this one up because I screenshot it. It's just like, dude, what are we doing here? What are we doing here, ESPN? Oh, that was Kendrick Perkins and Bill Simmons. Sorry, that wasn't the right screenshot. Come on, where's my ESPN headline? Damn it. And it was all over the TV today, too, as well. And I was like, all right, here we go. LeBron opts in for 52.6, watching LA moves. All right. Yeah, you know, maybe I'm a little over the top on the headline, but like, what is he watching? You got Luka. He's not going anywhere. He's going to finish his career in LA, in Hollywood, with his son. It's not difficult. James Harden, how about that story? Back to the Clippers, 2 years, $81.5 million. Dude's been balling. Are you going to win a championship with him? Hell no, but he has been balling. Randle, 3 years, back to Minnesota. I've been a Julius Randle guy. I was a Julius Randle supporter when he came out of Kentucky. Now, he's been on to a couple different teams, or it's 3-4 teams, whatever it may be, 4. I like Julius Randle. Now, they did have they had options up there in Minnesota. Was it the right one? We'll see. Naz Reid, 5 years, 125, speaking of Minnesota. Full NBA discussion coming your way at 5 o'clock with two of the best in the business, Sam Ostry and Sean Bernard. Other stuff going on in the world of the NBA. Malik Beasley, who was one of the best, if not the second best, you'd think three-pointers made, for an all of NBA for the Detroit Pistons last year, is now the latest player to be investigated about wagering on prop bets and other gambling, federal gambling probes. Let's just put it that way. Federal authorities are investigating Detroit Pistons guard Malik Beasley on allegations of gambling related to NBA games and prop bets. Sources told ESPN on Sunday. The allegations are from the 2023-24 season when Beasley played for the Milwaukee Bucks. He averaged 11.3 in 79 games that season, during which he made a career-high 77 starts. At least one prominent U.S. sportsbook detected unusual having betting interest on Beasley's stats beginning around January 24th, a gambling source told David Purdom. Interesting. The gambling industry source pointed to a game between the Bucks and the Trailblazers on January 31st. The odds on Beasley recording fewer than 2.5 rebounds moved significantly at a sportsbook before the game, shortening from around plus 120 to around minus 250. Due to surge on the action, Beasley finished with 6 rebounds, and the bets were deemed unusual, lost. An investigation is not a charge, Beasley's attorney said. Malik is afforded the same right of presumption of innocence as anyone else under the U.S. Constitution. As of now, he has not been charged with anything. Here's the deal I would say about that. Normally, when they're investigating the feds, it's not a good thing. The feds have a slam dunk hit rate, but we'll see what happens. There's 2 things that I always talk about when these things pop up. Number 1, don't do it. You're going to get caught. Number 2, for the people out there that say legalization of sports gambling have ruined everything, I will argue and push back and say the reason why he was caught, the reason why he is under an investigation is because of the legalization of sports gambling. Now, I get it. That's a slippery slope. You could push back on me and say, oh, come on, look at the facts here. If these prop bets weren't available, are we even in this discussion? You could be right. You could be wrong. I don't know. But the fact that we have legalization of sports gambling is the reason why that this dude is under investigation. That is 100% facts. The reality of the situation is exactly that. Sucks. I don't know why these guys want, like Malik Beasley, speaking of free agency, apparently was going to sign a 3-year deal, $42 million. I think to go back to Detroit, who had a great season last year. Fantastic team season, fantastic as a player. And then now he has cost himself that sort of scratch over prop bets, over an under on a rebound, allegedly. My goodness, what are we doing here? What are we doing, people? What's going on? Come on now.
My Lord.
Thank you, sir. Don't do it. Don't do it. You're going to get caught. And we know Janiah Broome, we know Terry Rozier, we know all these other guys, and it's just not good. All right, from the NBA, and once again, want to plug those guys coming up again at 5 o'clock. Looking forward to hearing what Sam Ostry and Sean Bernard have for us here. I know that they're going to even talk a little WNBA as the 76 Philadelphia is getting a team. WNBA once again expanded to 18 teams over the next 5 seasons. How about that, sports fans? All right, now let's talk some football. Hut. And I made 2 wagers over the weekend. Of course, first one was due to the fact that we had a college football magazine in front of us. And the college football Bible here. Phil Steele's College Football Preview 25. Over 350 pages. I'm an SEC in, and we went through the beginning couple pages where they rank everybody. A lot of hype around Cape Klubnik and the Clemson Tigers. Penn State getting a lot of love as well. LSU understood with Nussmeier coming back. But just a great read to get the juices going. And again, I'm not one of these guys that's going to lie to you and tell you, oh, from top to bottom, I'm highlighting everything. Some do. Great. I just love it because it starts to get the vibe going again. And then you start to look at some things that are piquing your interest, specifically about Heisman Trophy candidates. Now let's fire up DraftKings Sportsbook and take a peek at some of those numbers right now for the College Football Heisman Trophy Award, which is definitely something that everybody likes to get action on. And we understand why, because again, it's college football and it is the #1 award out there. We do have futures up. We do have wins, totals, all that, games lines at DraftKings Sportsbook. Arch Manning is your leader in the clubhouse as far as odds on favorite is concerned, 7-1. Nussmeier, who I just brought up with LSU at +900. Klubnik 11-1 or 10-1, excuse me. Jeremiah Smith 12-1. Julian Sain from Ohio State, and then you got Drew Aller, quarterback for Penn State at 16-1. Rest you can go check out for yourself. Although Sellers is getting a lot of buzz too with South Carolina 18-1. A lot of people in the Gambler Gang, I think, are on Sellers. I am on Jeremiah Smith from Ohio State. That was the play that I made over this weekend. And the reason why I did so is because I know that there's going to be a lot of mouths to feed at Ohio State. And I know that maybe they could have a little bit more of a slump this year. But was there any question who the best player on the field was? Every single game that they played, especially in playoffs? They couldn't stop. They had to literally roll out a double team to try and limit him in the national championship game. This is a national championship game. And you're saying, you know what? I'm going to take 2 guys from my defense. And we're going to follow that guy around. I don't care if Jeremiah Smith goes to the bathroom. I want you wiping his butt. That's what defense coordinators across the country were saying last year when they were running man up against the Ohio State Buckeyes, and it didn't work. Dude went off. Best player in college football, hands down, last year. Give it to me again. And I understand. People want to get at me and tell me it's a quarterback award. I don't think Travis Hunter, I know he played a lot of positions last year. I don't think he threw the ball all that many times last year. Matter of fact, people want to tell me this is a favorite award, too. I got that over the weekend. Oh, it's normally going to the favorite. Take a look. What were the numbers last year for Travis Hunter? 35, 40, 45, 50-1. Yeah, he was mentioned in preseason hype buzz for the Heisman Trophy Award, sure. But he wasn't lock, stock, and barrel, the guy. So here we are. And again, that's just one player that I'm referencing. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. 12-1. I think that's some good scratch there. It's one of those longevity awards. You got to play. You got to be healthy. Hopefully, knock on wood, he will be for the full season. And sure, Ohio State's going to be explosive, and there's a lot of mouths to feed. But all it takes is one. And that guy is giving you a home run, a bomb over the top, and he's breaking it. and it's on ESPN all day and all night long. And everybody's going to be talking about those Buckeyes yet again, the team success, so on and so forth. So give me Jeremiah Smith at 12-1. And to be honest with you, I was kind of surprised that he was as high as he was. I thought for sure he'd be like 10, 9-1, somewhere around there. I thought he was going to be locked into one of the favorites, one of the big guys. And again, like I said, he's 4th on the list. So he's pretty much in there when it comes to guys that are legit favorites. But I ended up making that play over the weekend. Love to hear your thoughts on the Heisman Trophy Award winners for next year. 2025 season for this year. We are here, damn it. And over to the NFL, the other play that I made, I locked in. And this one is home cooking. This one is biased. This one is revisiting what took place last year and what people were saying about Jalen Carter and how he was the best player on the field, how he saw double teams, how he still competed and got through them. And again, this was last year, the first time without Fletcher Cox on the other side, a lot of focus on Jalen Carter, and all he did was just dominate. You couldn't stop him. The Jalen Carter game, the LA Rams game, saved the season, saved the Super Bowl run. He did it multiple times throughout the course of the regular season as well. Just a true menace, an absolute beast up front. And he's going to get one of the biggest contracts in football history, hands down. And he deserves that at 24 years old. Don't know when, but you know what's coming. And all I know is when I saw Jalen Carter in there for Defensive Player of the Year, again, these are one of those plays that you are going to love to have in your open plays because it's your guy. 22-1 plus 2,200 to win Defensive Player of the Year for the Philadelphia Eagles. And we know, yes, I get it when it comes to numbers of sacks. Will he total them up? I think Jalen Carter right now is on everybody's radar. That he's entering into Aaron Donald territory for a lot of people where it's just like, dude, that guy, I don't care what you tell me, he is the best player on defense. Look, if he continues to go the way he is, they're going to be talking about him with the greats and like the Warren Sapps, like the Reggie Whites. Like this is just the reality of where we're at right now. This isn't me with my Eagles bias. He's unbelievable. I'm not telling you something that you don't already know. He is on the Myles Garrett list. He is on the Aiden Hutchinson playing field, the Micah Parsons, the Jared Verse, who had a great rookie season, the Bosas. Like, we know how good Jalen Carter is, and there's some great defensive players. But I think with the team's success, the defense living up to the hype yet again, hopefully he'll be able to do a little bit more because they're going to need somebody to get after the quarterback after what they lost last year. I love Jalen Carter at plus 2,200. So 2 plays that are in my open wagers right here, right now on DraftKings Sportsbook. Go ahead and get you some of those. Jeremiah Smith for Heisman Trophy and Jalen Carter for Defensive Player of the Year. How about that? Got people out here. I don't know, man. There's people that just, this is what happens. Like, you know, my wife over the weekend, like, literally told me, you know, that I have ADD and this and that. And what did we yell about? It was over something dumb. And like, it was like, you know, because I was putting the day together and we had a birthday party and I was like, all right, I need to get out of the house. Let's go swimming. And oh, by the way, I needed to pick this up. Oh, that's what it was. And then I went to Barnes and Noble and I bought a pack of Uno cards that were Super Mario Brothers themed. And me and my daughter have been banging them out, We've been playing Uno. Can't win. I can't win. She's got to win every time, but it's fun. And then my wife was like, "Oh, that's the ADD kicking in. You got to have that. I don't know, whatever it is, dopamine hit." And I'm just like, well, why are you making it sound dirty that I just want to be entertained? Make a wager. I just want to be entertained. I'm watching a game. I just want to be entertained. Pick up a magazine. I just want to be entertained. I want to swim. I want to spend my day out in the sunshine. That's it. I don't know why it's always got to be some sort of condition that needs to be fixed with a pill. Damn it. weekend. Hopefully everybody had a great weekend. It was a nice one on Sunday, that's for sure. All right, so those are 2 open plays for me. I'd love to get your thoughts on anything NFL related or college football related plays, please, at Fox PHL Gambler. At Fox PHL Gambler. Other side, we'll stay with the NFL. And one question I'm pondering right now, I'm going to give you that answer on the other side. Which NFL division has the biggest gap between first and second place? Yeah, the biggest gap between who you think is going to win that division and the team that will finish in second place. I'll give you my answer on the other side. It's the Daily Ticket. Don't touch that dial right now. 5 p.m. hour. We got Sam Ostry, Sean Bedard coming up with all things NBA discussion, free agency, front and center for us, the Sixers, and the association as a whole. And oh, by the way, come one, come all. You can now get Odyssey channels on iHeartRadio app. That means the other station in Philadelphia that a lot of people do listen to, have been around for a long time, can be found on the iHeartRadio app. So you got the Gambler, you got the 2 other radio stations, sports talkers here in Philadelphia on the iHeartRadio app. They got presets. So all you got to do is just plug them on your presets and you can flip like real easy. There's no pause, no buffering. It's boom, boom, boom. You can go back and forth, commercial break. It's unbelievable. Come one, come all to the iHeartRadio app. Download it now and make us a preset. Damn it. It's the Daily Ticket. More after this.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One, is back in Vegas.
T-Mobile Arena.
September 19th and 20th. Streaming live only on Hulu. 15 artists, 2 nights, 1 stage. Get tickets now at AXS.com.
Capital One is the proud presenting partner of iHeartRadio Music Festival, bringing great products, rewards, and services to its customers. What's in your wallet?
Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic for Philadelphia.
Expressway this afternoon, it's crawling 202 to approaching Belmont. That's where the right lane is blocked. Further east, slow Girard to south, the westbound So University to Vine and Jan City to Belmont. Watch for delays on the Bluebird southbound. That's crawling Schuylkill to approaching Broomall with flooding in the right lane. And northbound backed up St. David's up to the Turnpike. 95 northbound crawling Girard Point Bridge to Penn's Landing from an earlier crash. Then stop and go Allegheny to Bridge. All right, to tell it total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
Run a business and not thinking about radio? Think again. Because more people are listening to the radio on iHeart today than they were 20 years ago. And only iHeart Broadcast Radio connects with more Americans than TV, digital, social, any other media. Even twice as many teens than TikTok. And that reach means everything. Just think about the universal marketing formula. The number of consumers who hear your message times the response rate equals the results. Now let's get those results growing for your business. Radio's here now more than ever, and iHeart's leading the way. Think radio can help your business? Think iHeart. Streaming, podcasting, and radio, where the reach is real. Let us show you at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com. Or call 844-844-iHeart. One more time, just call 844-844-iHeart and get radio working for you.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The last thing anyone wants is to leave behind confusion, stress, or worse, family conflict. That's why estate planning isn't just for the wealthy. It's for families like mine. and probably like yours. With Trust and Will, I created my estate plan in minutes, from naming guardians for my kids to putting our house in a trust to avoid probate. Fast, affordable, and way easier than I thought. Every plan is designed by estate planning attorneys and customized for your state. Plans start at just $199 and include essentials like healthcare directives and power of attorney. With Trust and Will's bank-level security and built-in privacy protections, your personal information and your wishes stay safe. Whether you're newly married, raising kids, caring for aging parents, or just want peace of mind, Trust and Will makes it easy to protect what matters most. Go to trustandwill.com, use code RADIO at checkout, and save 20% on your personalized plan. Because there's no better time to protect the people you love. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. See website for details.
Okay, raise your hand if you want to make your life a little bit easier. Great. Now raise your other hand if you like to be comfortable. Perfect. Now that you have both hands raised, imagine putting on your shoes. And that, folks, right there is your answer to an easier, more comfortable life. Go hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins. This is footwear you don't need your hands to put on. They can be raised in the air, and you can just step it and go. Why don't you experience what people can't stop talking about? Life-changing Skechers Slip-ins. Get your Slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Hey, man, you all right? Need me to call 911? No, call Top Dog Law. Get top dollar for your accident at topdoglaw.com. Once again, that's topdoglaw.com. Summertime is here, and who needs a cool grand in their hand? Fox Sports The Gambler has you covered. Listen weekdays from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and at the top of every hour for your shot to win $1,000. Once you hear the keyword for that hour, get on over to foxphlgambler.com and enter to win a grand in your hand. Once again, that's 9 times a day for your chance to win $1,000. Nobody does it like Fox Sports The Gambler in Philly.
Looking for the perfect outdoor dining experience? Join us at Randall's Restaurant in Cherry Hill, New Jersey for our summer promotions, including the return of Burgers and Brews Night every Tuesday, July 4th weekend drink specials, and Wine Fest in August. Details at randallslegacy.com.
The DQ Sauced and Tossed Chicken Strip Baskets have more flavor than your taste buds know what to do with. We start with all white meat, breaded, seasoned, and fried to crunchy perfection. Next, we double down and toss them in honey barbecue or new buffalo sauce. Serve them up with DQ fries, Texas toast, and house-made Hidden Valley Ranch, and you've got flavor on flavor on flavor. Get the Sauced and Tossed Chicken Strip Basket in honey barbecue or new buffalo right now at DQ. Happy tastes good. Participation may vary.
You see what I see, love?
Our grandson splashing his mom with a cannonball?
You. Having heart failure is hard enough, but now you're having trouble opening the sunscreen. Carpal tunnel acting up again?
Yep, and there are my stomach issues. And how tired I am. I could use a nap.
Let's take a dip, and then we're calling your cardiologist to see what's going on, okay?
If you have heart failure and something's off, it may be ATTR-CM or transthyretin cardiac amyloidosis. It's a serious heart condition that gets worse over time. Vindamax, tafamidis, is a prescription pill taken once a day to treat adults with ATTR-CM to reduce death and hospitalization for heart problems. Tell your doctor about all your medications, medical conditions, and if you have liver problems or breastfeeding, pregnant, or plan to be. There are no known side effects with Vindamax. For prescribing information, call 1-877-278-9632. Learn more at Vindamax.com.
Seeing what I see? Ask your doctor about ATTR-CM.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Your one stop for advertising? Call 844-844-iHeart.
Do your summer plans include travel? Make sure your prep includes more than just flights and hotels. Stay up to date with COVID-19 vaccination, especially if you're 65 or older or have certain health conditions. There have been surges in COVID-19 in the summer, too. It's important to help protect yourself no matter your destination. So check eligibility and schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. That's VAXAssist.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Macy's Backstage is a whole new floor inside your Macy's store. And right now, you'll find the latest summer styles all for under $25. With new arrivals every day, you never know what amazing deals you'll find. So don't wait. Find a location at Macy'sBackstage.com.
Action News meteorologist Peyton Domschke. Thanks to tropical humidity and a lifting boundary, isolated strong to severe storms remain a possibility this evening. During the overnight, while the threat for downpours still continues, the severe weather parameters are much lower. Anything that does develop will include frequent lightning, flooding downpours, and potentially some damaging winds. A lot of water in a short window of time means if you run into any standing water, turn around, don't drown. And by tomorrow morning, we're recharging the atmosphere ahead of a cold front. That brings scattered chances at strong to severe storms tomorrow afternoon and evening.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
You're listening to The Daily Ticket with Sean Brace. On Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. The action starts here.
Yes, it does. Hello, everybody. Daily Tick coming down the home stretch. 5 o'clock hour. Got the boys. Sam Oster, Sean Bernard. 80 minutes coming your way. All things NBA free agency. Tell you, man, they just love this stuff. This is what gets them going. They would text them left and right, back and forth. I just challenged them because I said, why don't you boys talk about doing a possible 24-hour pod or show to get us ready for the NBA regular season? Maybe something that we need to kick around. I think it'd be pretty fun to do here in the studio and, of course, get everybody involved. And immediately, we're in. That'd be fun. Raise some money for charity and, of course, talk some hoops and have some fun for 24 hours. That's definitely something I've kicked around a long, long time ago. Matter of fact, I think we were going to post up shop on Xfinity Live's roof on a previous show that I was on, if I'm not mistaken, and broadcast live for 24 hours on the roof, but didn't really happen. There was one time that I was going to, this was in the process days. I was going to sleep in Xfinity Live. This was right around Christmas time. And not to say that my girlfriend, now wife, but my then girlfriend was a no on it, but she definitely was not feeling the fact that I could have to spend my Christmas at Xfinity Live. This was right around the time that they didn't win. You know, this is the tanking years. And I think they had like a win to start the season, if I believe, and they didn't get another one. I'm like, something stupid. Radio. You know how it works. Anyways, glad I didn't have to do that. But those boys are young enough. And yeah, of course, I say this with all love and affection, dumb enough to do something like that. So it would be fun. All right. I want to get to some NFL. But again, we got some Padres and Phillies. And man, I'll tell you what, turn back the hands of time to this one.
Pitch. Harper hits one in the air, left center field. Back it goes. Harper, the swing of his life.
Yeah, you just heard Citizens Bank Park going crazy. And of course, the fact that Harper went yard in the 8th inning to beat the Padres. And what a day, what a game it was. And, it was just a great series, great run. Because we were talking about that the other day with Kyle Fisher. And I was like, man, I know that we did not win the World Series, but I would sign up because of the Astros series for 6 games right now for that Astros, run it back, even if they lost. I know that people were like, wait, what? Yeah, I would sign up right now for that, even though I know that the Phillies came up short or would come up short in the World Series, because that run was awesome. Of course, that was the great Joe Davis on the call. Everybody loves him. I think, a little manufactured at times, but still got great vocals. It does a good job. Although he doesn't like to put the headphones on his hair. Can't mess the hair. Can't mess the hair on television. Anyways, Harper, the swing of his life against the Padres. How do you not go to Joe Hader there? But I digress. Phillies ended up winning that game 4-3, I believe, was the final in that one. Now, to tonight's game, again, you got Harper back in the lineup. He did speak to the media, and he was kind of like, I'm at a standstill. I'm paraphrasing here with this injury of his wrist. He doesn't feel like it's getting any better. Could get worse. That stinks to hear, but hey, man, this is what happens when you play 162. I was thinking about this the other day. You never hear of golfers getting hurt, but you know darn well their arms and like their wrist hurt and their hands hurt. Like they play golf all season long. baseball, football, basketball, these guys are hurt. They're hurt year round. Just got to manage the pain and play through it. Easier said than done. Of course, Harper would hoping that he's feeling a little bit better. Doesn't seem the reality, but my man is going to play and power through this. You know that. And hopefully he will be back to hitting some bombs here. Tonight, we'll see. Again, minus 239. He is the showman. Could get the job done against that knuckleball pitcher with Waldring in his first start this year. Plus 192 for the Padres. Phillies minus 239. We put in a same game parlay if you'd like to ride with the Gambler Gang, Luke and myself. We got a Kyle Schwarber RBI. We got Brandon Marsh hit. We got Turner 2 total bases and Bohm 2 total bases. We're locked and loaded. Plus 1,000 here on the on the DraftKings Sportsbook here. All right. Finally, let's end on this. Some NFL discussions. We're inching closer to NFL season. And again, I was all over the NFL and college football boards, just reading everything I possibly could and starting to look at some of the odds and getting some questions going for the gang, because we are entering into that spot where we're going to have summer sessions. We're going to be talking a lot of college football, and I look forward to doing it. Now, I gave you my 2 plays already, and if you missed that, I gave my Heisman Trophy selection for Jeremiah Smith at 12-1. Love it, love it, love it. And then I took Jalen Carter, Defensive Player of the Year, at 22-1. I would imagine you wouldn't mind tailing either one of those. Now, quickly on the teams and specifically the divisions in the NFL. And I was just curious, when I was looking around it, what is like the strongest division in your mind collectively from 1 through 4 as far as the NFL divisions are concerned? Where do you stand on that one? And then finally, the other question that was hitting me was the drop off from first to second. Who is the strongest team when it comes to that number 1 team in the division? So the biggest gap between first and second place, where are you at? And for me, I think it's an easy answer. I think it's the AFC East. And you look at what the Bills did last year, 13-4. There's no way that anybody, of course, running it back from last year. Now, there's significant changes with all 3 of those other teams. We'll get into the Dolphins in just a second, the significant change that they went through today, a matter of fact. But I don't think there's anything of substance that's going to push them into the spot that they will now give the Bills a run for their money for the division. I think slam dunk that the division for the AFC East is a lock for the Buffalo Bills. Now, we know how that works. That's not really how, it's easier said than done. But when you look at the odds, right now the Bills are minus 260. And I was looking earlier, that is the far and away number 1 favorite on the board, all the way to the number 2 team, which would be the Baltimore Ravens are in at minus 140. The Eagles are at minus 135. So Ravens at minus 140, Eagles at minus 135 to win their respective divisions. But of course, as I said, Chiefs, just so you know, minus 120, that the Bills are minus 260. Patriots are number 2 on that list at plus 475. Now the Pats have the hype. They have the quarterback. Of course, they went out there and made some changes, new coach, all of that. So there is some, of course, good reasons for us to believe in the Patriots to have a significant jump this year. But I'm not really going to believe that they are going to give the Bills a run for their money, who won 13 games last year. Josh Allen is the truth. Run game, defense. Dermott's a pretty damn good head coach. They got the home field advantage. That crowd gets rocking. So give me the Bills. The Dolphins, again, they made a big-time trade today. And it was a weird trade because Jalen Ramsey releases it first on his timeline. Like, hey, I'm out. I'm going to tell you where I'm going. I'm going to go to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And he came up with this video, and it was cool. And the next thing, it was like, wait, whoa. He's breaking his own news. He's going, but what does that mean? Oh, no, he's traded. Yes. So Ramsey goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers. In exchange for, the Dolphins receive 5-time Pro Bowl safety Minkah Fitzpatrick, who was traded to the Dolphins, or traded to the Steelers by the Dolphins, Tight end Jonnu Smith was also a part of the deal. And in addition to the players, the Steelers will also receive a 2027 7th-round pick. The Dolphins are also getting a 2027 5th-round pick. Wild transaction that Jalen Ramsey just put out there and was like, yo, here we go. Like, I'm out. This is my new spot. Really intriguing because Jalen Ramsey goes to Pittsburgh. You're thinking with Minka up there, wow, that's pretty good defense. All right. You can see it coming together, even though no one's believing in Rodgers and DK Metcalf, right? Like that's all you got up there. But big one for me was the Miami Dolphins. And I'm just like, wow, like I'm a McDaniel guy to a point. I need to see a little bit more. I'm not a Tyreek Hill fan. I just think that he is a poison, a hell of a player, but a guy that is probably going to cost you in the long run. I could eat my words. I didn't last year. I don't draft him in fantasy because I think he could pop a hamstring racing a YouTuber. And then what did he do? He got arrested on a game one. I think I literally said he could end up in jail. The next day he got arrested on game one, heading to the game. It would have been hilarious if he did get arrested. But I know people take that personal. Who knows what happened there? Anyways, with that being said, staying to the field, I look at what the Dolphins are doing now with Fitzpatrick coming back to. That's a pretty good get by them. He's a hell of a player. He's a better player than Ramsey. Ramsey's pretty good too as well. So if you're going to get a motivated Jalen Ramsey, we'll see what happens in that one. Pittsburgh, whatever, not really buying anything. It is intriguing though when you do break it down to its simplest form. The Pittsburgh Steelers preferred this collection of Aaron Rodgers, Jonnu Smith, and DK Metcalf versus what they had last year with Russell Wilson, right? Essentially Russell Wilson and Pickens, who ended up with the Cowboys. So if you had to do that all over again, would you rather Rodgers, Jonnu Smith, and DK Metcalf, or Russell Wilson and, of course, George Pickens, who had himself a pretty damn good career with the Steelers, put up some good numbers. It's interesting when you do break it down like that. I'm probably going to ride with Rodgers, Jonnu, and DK just slightly. I'm not a Russell Wilson guy. We'll see what happens, though. Justin Fields, I would have stayed with, and now he's with the Jets. A lot more NFL discussion coming your way right here on the Daily Ticket. We'll continue to jab you with everything that's important when it comes to the odds, the injuries, the signings, all of that and more. Depth chart. Look forward to getting into a lot more over the next couple of weeks, specifically after the holiday, college football as well. But man, we do have a pretty good time as far as NBA is concerned, and that is coming up next. NBA free agency with Sam Ostry and Sean Bernard. Again, 6 o'clock it goes official. Everybody's ready to go. What will the 76ers do? Of course, these guys will be talking your ear off for the next 80 minutes on everything NBA free agency right here on The Gambler and the iHeartRadio app. Download it. Make us a preset. Lock it in. All 3 sports talk stations in Philadelphia are available in the iHeartRadio app. Bing, bang, boom. Commercial break, go to the next. Commercial break, go to the next. Stay with the Daily Ticket Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. We appreciate that. Sam Ostry, Sean Bernard are next, talking about things NBA free agency. I'll be back tomorrow, brand new Daily Ticket. Got a special guest joining me on Wednesday. A lot to do this week, getting you ready for all things 4th of July. Don't touch that dial. Sean and Sam are next. Talk to you.
Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic for Philadelphia.
Flooding has it crawling on the Bluebird southbound from the Schuylkill to approaching Broomall. The right lane's blocked. And north